Will now be recorded.
Any doubts from previous topics? In our last session, we discussed about OData and what is OData, where we use OData service, what is required to work with the OData, and we created a project yesterday by considering a requirement where we created a table which stores customer ship to information, and our requirement is we need to send a customer ship to details through OData service to outside web application. For that, we have created table and we have maintained some data inside this table as part of our requirement. And after that, we have created a OData service project as well. The transaction code for OData is SEGW. And this is our OData project. Inside the project, we have created our entity types. We have created only one entity type and one entity set. Entity type is nothing but a structure, and entity set, which is nothing but a table. Structure and a table. So if you observe in my data model, I have two properties, customer ID and ship to. So I'm going to use this properties and then send data of customer ID and ship information whenever it is requested from outside application. And then we have generated our runtime artifacts also. When we click on this generate runtime objects, we have runtime artifacts are generated. Runtime artifacts, nothing but where we can write our logic. And also we have maintained our service through IWFND maintenance service. So this service, which is nothing but it's a connection between your OData gateway server and ECC server. In real-time situations, we will be having this connection. If you execute, so it will be executed in GJD, means gateway server, and it will be connected to backend ECC system. Now, if you see, when I executed gateway client, I'll be able to test this OData service, and either directly you can execute from the service maintenance gateway client, or else we have a transaction code /w /n IWFND GW underscore client. That is the T code to execute this T code. And here what we can do is we can get the data from ECC system, or we can create a data to ECC side, or we can update information to ECC, and patch merge, which is nothing but get and update activity. Delete means we can delete information in ECC side. All these activities, actions we can perform in ECC side, and the request which is going from your gateway server. This is gateway server where you can generate your request. I'm just executing. So far what we have done, we created project with our entity type, customer ID and ship to, and then we created our, we generated runtime artifacts, and then we maintained our service. Now to test whatever the project we created, you can execute and then test it. When you test it, you can see the status 200 and OK, which means your project, what you have created, which is success, there is no errors. And normally in real-time projects, when you got a requirement to create the project, so you will create your project and then you will send this project details to your front-end team, via XML so that they can start doing the development from portal side. Now we don't have a portal, so we will think like we are getting request from a portal, and then we will send that request from our gateway server using these methods, and we will execute, and we will see from ECC side how these methods will call and get the information. But here, um, gateway server and ECC both are a single server, so you cannot see that difference. Now I have just tested, this is okay. But to work with the get to post or these methods, we have to implement the runtime artifacts. Until unless if you are supposed to go and test, this is our entity. So if I wanted to get information by using this entity, when I execute, I'll be getting an error saying that which is not implemented. As like in ECC system, we have ST22 is a transaction where we can see all the related issues, details. Same way here also we have a T code. By using that T code, we can check all the errors which are generated in our gateway server. The T code is here you can find error log. So this is the T code where you can find error related information. So you need to enter /n and before giving the T code /n followed by your error log. So that whatever errors which are generated in your system, which will be tracked in this particular T code. So where you can see latest ones which will come in the top with your user ID, and bottom you can see error details, error information. So it says like you are calling an entity set, but that entity set which is not implemented. Now we will go and implement runtime artifacts. So to implement that, we have DPC, MPC, and model service. So this OData architecture is designed in a concept of uh, model view controller, which is a concept of WebDyn Pro. So in WebDyn Pro concept, when we are explaining, I'll tell you what is this model view concept. Model is nothing but where all your data related logic, uh, creation of the entities, attributes, everything will be there in the model. But the logic function modules are the methods, every logic, business related logic will be implemented into the DPC. DPC is a superclass for DPC EXT. So we will be going to use DPC EXT class to write our logic. MPC or model we were not going to use. These are automatically generated when you are doing runtime artifact. Now we will be using DPC EXT, which is a superclass for DPC, and inside this DPC means data provider class. So we will be using data provider class to implement logic. Double click on this data provider class and go to methods, inherited methods. Now you can see there are methods which is ready to inherit. Create entity, delete entity, get entity set, update entity. By using these methods, what we can do is we can create entity means we can create information via OData service, gateway service to ECC system. If suppose something has to be created, right now I have a table. Where is this? So I have a table. In this table, from the front end, I wanted to update, create an entry in this table. In that case, I can use this create entity set method. If I wanted to create a record, I'll be going to use create entity. If I wanted to delete record from my ECC table, I'll be using delete entity. If I wanted to read a single record from my table, there are multiple records, right? If I wanted to read a single record from this table, then I'll be going to use get entity. Get entity set means we can read all data from this table. Multiple records information we can read by using get entity set. Update entity, if I wanted to update a record in this table, then I can use update. These are the entities which we can use, and that entity set, which entity set, create, delete, get, update, which entity set it has to be called, that will be decided by your portal. From the front end portal, request will come to your gateway client. So this is the URL. This URLs will be generated from the portal side, and the connectivity to your gateway and portal will be given by Basis, and as well as connection to the gateway and your SAP ECC server also given by Basis team. Now, what we do, we assume there is a request is coming from the portal, and then we will execute this OData service, and then we will implement logic into this, and we will consider this table is our final table. In this table, we will create records, we will read records, we will update records, we will delete records. So this is our table where create, read, update, delete, all these actions we will perform. Now create entity, before that, there is no procedure actually which entity has to be implemented first. But always recommended way is to first we have to implement always get entity set method. Get entity set means if your portal, front end portal, they wanted to get all the data from this table through OData service, then your front end portal, it will send a request to OData here, and then OData will call method get entity set. In get entity set, whatever the logic is there, this logic will call your program and then get the data from the table. Now the right click on this get entity set, click on redefine, and now save. And before I'll be doing this, I'll be adding one more field in this table because I wanted to perform update action. So update action to be performed means there is a record which is non-key field is required, because if there is, I wanted to change a record which is already update means what? If there is a record, and for that record, if we wanted to change something, that is called update. But this is a key field. So key fields information we cannot change. Then to show you the update, we need one more entry in this table. So I'll create one more entry. Go to the change mode. So what is the entry? I'll give name, ship to name, and name one GP. So now save, check and activate. This will be non-key field. Now I'll execute and maintain some test data for one or two fields. So this will be shipment one, which location is Hyderabad. And second one, this is Bangalore. And third one, I'll be giving Delhi. Okay. Now we have three fields in this table, and also we will change this methods with that third field as well, entity. So right now we have how many? Two fields are there, right? So I'll be adding one more field. So place a double click here and click on change, and then add one more. This is append, add append. Z, what was the field? Z name. Z name. I'll be giving a first character. First one is upper character, and second one is lower character, as like above. And then I'll be taking this string only from the available data types. EDM string, and this will be taking as 10 as like above, and label I am giving as customer, and this one G name. Now save and check and generate runtime objects. So when you add anything, do this generate runtime objects. This is must and should. Now completed, it is generated. Now go to your runtime artifacts, dpc-ext and methods. So we already redefined method get entity set. As I'll need a read action for a single record, I'll need this get entity also. Redefine means we have a method that we were going to use into our OData project. So I'll be deleting this, save, check and activate. What happened? Save, method, select all these things, continue. Unable to interpret email set get entity set. What is this? So we were in ship to DPC. This is not our entity set. Let me activate. Okay, we have selected this method as well. Unselect this other method which is not ours. Activate. Okay, now fine. And we need update also. Redefine. So redefine all the methods whichever it is required for our testing. So remove this unwanted code, save, and delete also I have required. So delete and remove this code. So whatever methods we need, all the methods redefine from this dpc-ext. When you redefine, you can use these methods, you can write your implement, you can write your logic inside it. Now save, check, activate. So while activating, only select your methods. Don't select any other methods. If you select any others, then you will get error. Now I go back